I might trust you after like 60 emails.
Sure.
And I'm buying that.
Yeah.
But it's one email a day. But if I go through your profile, I'm there for 10, 20 minutes. So your social media is the new business card. And it's the same with businesses. Like, are you cool?
Yeah.
Do I trust you? Do I believe you? And do you have a good business card? Do you have a good portfolio? Ads will only work so well. Competition is higher than ever. Costs are higher than ever. What else can we do? And right now, and probably in the next few years, it's gonna be social media. Maybe you can still run a profitable company, but it will never be as good as when you have content. So let's talk branding.
Awesome. I love branding.
Yeah. What I always found funny is that like I got to know you as like the pizza guy.
Yeah.
And I think everyone got to know me as a rice guy.
Yes.
I don't know if yours was on purpose, but mine was pretty much on purpose. Like, cool, let me find one thing where every single person will remember me.
Yeah.
So how did it happen for you?
Yeah. So there is a little bit of a story actually behind the whole pizza branding because I'm not Italian. So I'm not claiming any sort of Italian lineage, but it was around 2020 and I was trying to make a big shift in my own freelance career. And I was ready to like level up or whatever and realized I needed to start making some more connections. Was going to go to my first ever in-person event. Super excited because I'm a very like people person, like in-person type of, I do well with others. And then I was super stoked to make some connections because I've been working very, very remotely, like online and didn't really know anyone in person. So, and then COVID happened and it immediately just shut down all of the in-person events. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do now, basically? I really got to do something because what I have been doing up until now hasn't really gotten me where I want to be. I was really banking on this in-person live event, these types of things to really help me make some better connections and come across better opportunities. I guess I'm going to have to figure out what to do online instead. And it just so happens that in the same week, I saw two pretty successful entrepreneurs make a post about pizza. And both of the posts did really, really well. Like there was a ton of engagement. And I just thought to myself, I can talk about pizza. Like I love pizza. It is a top 5 food for me. It wasn't like my most favorite.
Not even your favorite.
It's not, I don't know if I have a favorite, but like it's a top 5 easily food for me. Maybe even top 3. I don't know. And I ate it regularly. I had been to Rome on my honeymoon. I had been to Naples and had been to the place that claims to have invented the margarita pizza. I'm like, yeah, I kind of know. I can talk about this. And so I just thought to myself, cool, I'm just going to start talking about pizza. Yeah. And turns out that pizza is the most photographed food in the world. So what I didn't know that I was doing at the time that ended up working out really well for me is I was picking something that was kind of like just a casual, easy entry point for conversation because I knew that I needed the opportunity to connect with people and I didn't want to just come across as a marketer. Yeah. Even though I did marketing, first of all, that wasn't all of my personality, but also I just wanted a way for people to not feel threatened if I talk to them. And it's like, what's the easiest way to make an innocuous conversation is to talk about something that most people love, like freaking share a cat meme. You know what I'm saying? Kind of vibe.
Yeah, I think something that a lot of people lack is like authenticity and relatability. Mm-hmm. But you have this transition from like something super random that you start as friends. Yes. Even when we got to know each other, like it's just cool. Can we talk about something random? Yeah. Because most of our lives are just business. Everything is business.
That's exactly right.
But now we can talk about pizza.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, by the way, what do you do?
What do you do? Yeah. Well, you were just the rice guy. And so then it was like, oh, another guy that's like made food his thing. So that means that there's 2 things. We can like share in that, or we can be kind of maybe a bit enemies, or both. And which is pretty much, I think, kind of where we got to for a little while, at least. I don't know. It's been so long now that it's like our friendship has evolved so much that I kind of don't remember exactly the earliest phases, which is, I guess that's the good thing about branding is that it evolves. It allows people to develop an actual connection and relationship apart from whatever that initial touch point really was.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot that every entrepreneur, every freelancer, they always start with business and it's so serious.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Like there are so many guys that are incredibly good at what they do, but there are only a few guys that I really genuinely like.
Yeah, okay.
And that comes from all these random jokes, like all the, whether it's pizza or rice. And there's this other guy, I think he made his branding about a banana.
Yeah, Daniel.
And I think it's, it's Dan, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just starts so much easier. And the transition from talking as a friend to business, because there's a like, no trust factor. But I need to like you first. And with all the posts about pizza, like, cool, okay, this guy is funny.
Yeah.
Let me hit him up. And now we start talking. And also like what you were saying about one of your new offers, I would have never been interested if we didn't meet before on like a friendship level.
Yes.
One thing I found very interesting was one of your biggest clients, Matt Gray. Like I got to know him as like the efficiency, the productivity guy.
Yeah.
I was curious, like, was that on purpose or did it just happen at one point? He's doubled down on the content.
Yeah, so that was really funny. It's a bit of a journey. It is both. He has always been very systems orientated. So that was something that was already kind of in the big picture for him. When I first started working with him, so I was like number 3 for the what would be Founder OS. I was already helping with one of his other companies. He brought me over to help grow this new thing that he was doing. And at the time, it was actually called Soulful Entrepreneur.
Right.
Which, totally different thing. And that's because nature is like a massive part of what Matt really loves. Like the dude's all the time out. And he genuinely loves that a lot and has gotten a lot of his biggest moments of realization or clarity or whatever out and about. That is a massive part of his story. So for him, he was very much leaning into what was this blend of like passion and systems, and the initial aspect of or the initial iteration of that was Soulful Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
As he started posting more content, as he started engaging with his audience more, as we did a couple of cohorts with the thing he started, and then we were launching some other cohorts, he started getting the kind of like market feedback that systems were the systems that he had in place were what were most interesting to other people. And then there was also some potential confusion with the like soulfulness, thinking that maybe it was a bit more woo-woo. Yeah. And he's not that type of woo-woo, if that makes sense. He does very much believe in a lot of in a lot of things, but that's not what he was trying to embody with the brand, was that direction. Yeah. He was more so just talking about living a life of passion and purpose. That's to him what soulful meant. And so we did a rebrand to Founder OS because we realized, this is actually a more accurate representation for the market. Because this is a thing, like there's two sides of like any story. It's kind of like the story you want to tell, and then the story that the market actually is hearing.
Yeah,
and it can be challenging, especially, and that's where you kind of have to have a real conversation with yourself. Is like, am I an artist that's only creating for myself, and if other people like it or not, like that's cool because it's just for me? Or do I have a bigger purpose, which is to help or to engage with other people? That means I need to take their feedback into consideration and align my messaging to ensure that it's actually understood. Just saw Lay's potato chips are working on rebranding rebranding their product because 30% of people didn't know that they were made with potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a real thing. So, you do have to factor in at a bigger level. You do have to take some of those things into consideration. So that's how the switch, it was always there, but we really like honed in on the systems through the iteration and feedback, basically.
I think it's also quite niche if you go very spiritual.
Yeah.
So you have a much smaller, like your targetable audience is very small.
Yeah.
But if you just frame it as a Founder OS where it works for every single entrepreneur, now it becomes very interesting. And also I believe he does, one of the things I love about Matt is the amount of lead magnets.
Yeah.
Like there is always something that is very valuable that you can implement immediately.
Yeah.
And if I look at others, they might have content, but it's all over the place. Like,
yes.
What is this guy about? because he talks about everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it actually does and where it's value for me.
Yeah.
What's in it for me. I think at the end of the day, the audience always wants, like, no matter what they say,
Yeah, exactly.
they always want something for themselves.
That's exactly right.
So if you establish that brand, like, cool, I always deliver value, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more once you actually join. So that's really cool to see. But another thing I was wondering is, because we've spoken about this behind the scenes, but like the monetization, what happened at the back end? Because Instagram is just top of funnel awareness.
Sure. Yeah, so that is interesting. It's something that you have to be intentional about because attention does not equal money. It is a great way to get money, but you have to be intentional in the same way that you have to have a plan in place to get the initial attention. You also need a plan in place to convert that attention to actual dollars.
Yeah.
I just read it was crazy because Hulk Hogan recently passed a couple months ago, and his final estate value was like $2.4 million or something like that, which for someone that was in the public eye for 40, 50 years, I don't know, was super famous. He did not have that much liquid cash. And that's because there was, the fame doesn't equal the fortune.
Yeah.
It can be an avenue. So what we did then is we had to install some various conversion mechanisms, basically is the easiest way to say it, to where we took that just top of funnel, like attention scrolling, dopamine seeking people and filtered out both qualified people and people that were legitimately interested in working with us, and then get them into, we had to funnel them over to a different pathway to where we could start having more money related conversations, if that makes sense.
Did you immediately switch from top of funnel awareness just to lead magnets, or was also a low ticket involved?
So this is the actual thing. Lead magnets we had an initial newsletter based lead magnet from the beginning because that's best practice to have in place. That's something we did a mini course actually that we built out quite early on. But the first thing that we did that just totally transforms the revenue was is we started doing a monthly conversion event. So that's the cool way to call it. But we did a live free workshop every month. And that was incredible. I'm talking, we 4x'd our revenue.
And what
through those. Okay, well, so it's hard because there was a lot of that. You're working on the business, and I was very invested. So we were doing a lot of things at one time, which is another thing whenever people are whenever they say, wake up and you have 2 things you need to do for the day. I'm you don't run a real business if you can only focus on 2 things. Maybe 2 things you should try and accomplish, but in any given day, there's 5 or 6 different things that are going on that I have to at least check in on and make sure they're moving along and stuff like that. So we redid the program to be able to sell it at a higher price point, basically. And then we, switched to this workshop method. I've been ideated and created the scriptless workshop from that. And literally it was 1 month we were at averaging 35K. And then it's literally 45 days later, we cleared 125K.
Shit.
Just from that. So, I mean, the price point, of course, has a massive play in that, but that was the massive conversion mechanism. And it remained, I was with the company for about 20-ish months, I think, 22 months, something like that. And I would say for at least the first year, it drove 90% of our revenue came, at least for the first year. I would say probably 1.5 years until you have other mechanisms. So he was building out his YouTube channel. Eventually with time, that does become a really valuable asset. But what do you do to kind of hack or shorten the timeline on some of those things? Is you have these monthly activation events, which is basically taking these people that are following you in kind of a more superficial way and rapidly developing the relationship.
Yeah, I think there are always 3 things I look at. There's top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel. And I think almost every creator or brand that we start working with, they are good at top of funnel, and they get eyeballs.
Okay.
But they suck at converting. So we had this former client last year, astrology. she went from 400 followers to like 78K followers in maybe a few months. And we got millions, like hundreds of millions of views. We had one video with like 75 million views.
That's amazing.
One of the most successful astrology pages on Instagram.
Sure, that's incredible.
And then I spoke to her. I was like, this is like second or third month. Like, hear me out. We have proven the concept now. You can get your views, but you need to step up and fix that funnel. Or you need to hire us to fix the funnel. Because this is not going anywhere. And you have attention, but because of the industry and the niche, it is very viral. But how do you convert them? How do they actually sign up for your products? And she had all these things going on, and eventually she didn't really do it. So I look at the numbers, and it's probably the most successful IG page I've run in the last 5 years. And I do this every single day, 5 years straight. And I just look at that, I'm like, why are we not capitalizing on this? Why are we not converting to it?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And all they think about it, but we're getting views. Like it's a bit of an ego play where it feels great. Like your face might be there, like your page might be growing. But are we driving more revenue to the company? And at the end of the day, that is my goal. But that might take a little while, depending on what the structure is or the ecosystem of that specific company. But I feel like that is something that so many companies lack. And especially in companies out of the to make money online space. Give it some other products. How do you convert them? And the same if I look, one of the pages I love and the product I love right now, it's Brita, like the water. They have super unhinged meme-like content. And they do incredible.
Follow them. I haven't linked them.
It's really amazing. Like it's makes no sense. They have parodies, music, memes. They do well. But then what I see is like, okay, people watch it, but when are they gonna buy? Like, what is it about this water filter that makes me want to buy it? Like, yes, I'll have a lot of touch points. Fun fact, actually, I bought another Brita last week for a friend of mine because they blocked. So it does work.
Sure.
But what I would love to see is that middle funnel. Like middle funnel and bottom of funnel. Like, why would I buy more? So I think if they were to mix that with like maybe slightly more educational content, like this is all the stuff you're drinking and this is the effects it'll have on your body. So now you switch over from top of funnel to like actually educating the audience to buy. So I think that's a bit of a switch, and it's so easy to double down on what you think is working, which is the views. But like you said, attention does not immediately equal revenue. So that's something I wish more people would know.
I like to think of it, it's really, if you're not making $1 per follower per month, pretty much, up until you're in the hundreds of thousands of followers, you've got some monetization issues.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I would say, because there's no reason why if you have 50K or 100K plus followers, you should be in the 6-figure a month revenue range.
I think it depends on the product or the services as well. Because if it's a low ticket and you only sell the low ticket, then it might be harder.
That's a lot harder.
If you have a back end where you sell like 5 to 10K per product, cool. We need like 10 sales. That's it. That's funny that you say that. Like I have one former client, I think he's at 1.3 mil followers. His revenue for the past year or so is 1.3 million.
That's what
every single month.
I would say it's kind of a good baseline, honestly. It's not perfect, and there's plenty of different examples, but I like that because it does provoke a little bit of reflection. It's like, oh, what is possible? Are we really doing this? And if this is possible, because we've seen people, like you're saying, if people are doing it, then what are we missing?
I think it's the tracking itself, if you do it through social media, is quite hard. Because it's not like a Facebook ad where the tracking is there. So what we do is we just look at the cost per follower. Like if we run ads, how many new followers do we gain every single month, whether it's organic, and what do we pay the content creation team? And then we calculate that. So let's say the cost per follower is $1. And then, okay, what's the cost per lead? Like that might be $8. But what's the ROAS on average? Like what are the conversion rates? How many leads do we gain from X amount of followers? And how many sales do we drive from those followers and the leads? And that's very hard because they could come from anywhere. So maybe the starting point was at YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a TikTok or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. So how do you start tracking that?
Yeah.
And then it becomes really hard to scale and like to know, are we actually driving it from this? And another conversation with a consultancy client, and they were saying that they ran Google Ads for like 2 years straight. They thought it was all Google, but then they actually started tracking, and 80% of the actual revenue came through the YouTube videos.
Yeah. Wow.
Simply because they lacked the tracking.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's super hard. But once you install that, you can scale it. If you don't know the numbers, if you don't know the data, you cannot manage it. If you cannot manage it, it's very hard to scale.
Yeah.
So you're just blindly going off a feeling that, yeah, I'm getting views, so it must work. But that's a terrible way to scale a business, and it's not a sustainable.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not a good long-term growth plan at all. But that's a whole other level of that. I guess what I think about when you say something like that is you have to realize that if you're doing this sort of like attention-based thing, you are running a business, which means there are other factors at play. And like, you can't just post more, even if it's like working from a views perspective, that's not going to automatically translate to the maybe goals that you have for yourself or for the business. And so there has to be other things in place. You're not just like, maybe you are just doing the content, but if you want a business that's generating revenue, there needs to be other things in place. And in the same way that you would track the performance of your actual content that you're posting to see what's doing well or what's not doing well, you want that for other aspects of your business so you can optimize them.
Yeah. I think the most successful clients I've had always had a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, okay.
So you could just run organic, that it could work. But ideally, you have every touch point ready. So if we start from ads, we'll get eyeballs through ads. Impressions are high, but the amount of trust people have in ads versus the amount of trust they'll gain from watching your videos and watching your content is very different. So from ads, they'll go to your content. There are another 10, 20 touch points. They might scroll, like I will scroll through Breda for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
You actually go through the content.
Nice.
I listen to the little songs and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
But then I want to buy it.
Okay.
But after that, especially if it's a more sophisticated market, do you have more than just this dopamine content?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And then I want to go to YouTube. And so I think once you have everything in place, then you have this perfect ecosystem where every step, every part of the funnel, wherever they are, they will stick around. And the same when you buy an iPhone, it's when you decide which color you want, it doesn't matter to Apple.
Yeah.
Like you're still buying an iPhone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Whether it's fucking pink or gray, it doesn't matter. Like as long, at the end of the day, you buy an iPhone, we are good.
Yeah.
So wherever you are in the ecosystem, as long as you buy, we are good. Whether it's a lead magnet, you get a lead magnet, whether you buy a load ticket or end up there, you're still there. You're still in my ecosystem, and I will just retarget you.
Yes.
So I think that's a huge advantage of having everything. But then again, it also depends like which client, which account, and what stage they are. But I think that's a very hard thing to do, because I think when you started with Matt, was the account even existing, or did you start from?
Yeah, he was already. He was, I would say, in the lower tens of thousands. Like I think he was at like 40 or 50K on Twitter at the time, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
Still impressive.
Yeah, so it was like notable, especially for how quickly, because he had like literally built that up in 3 or 6 months or something like that, to go from absolute nothing to that. So he was on the radar, but he was not the level near to the level that he is now.
It's almost 1 million followers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, yeah, so on Insta for sure. And I wasn't even on Insta when we first started. That was really strategic of him. And he did a phenomenal job of that, is that, he started, and this was a core thing of what he taught others too to do. He's like, just start on like 2 platforms. So for him, that was X and LinkedIn.
Yeah. But I also think like every platform is a slightly different game.
Yeah.
Like if I look at LinkedIn, it's very value based. Like, do we have more lead magnets? Is it step by step? Yeah, implemented. Whereas on IG, it's cool. Can we have more dopamine? Can we have more funny stuff? Can we get eyeballs?
Yeah.
And on YouTube, you should go really deep into what it is that you have, really show you're the expert. And then if I look at TikTok, it's just, like the kids would say, it's brain rot.
Yeah.
Like, you just have brain rot content.
Yeah.
And we just keep them to watch whatever. And on Twitter, I was actually very surprised earlier this year. We started posting content on Twitter as well for clients. And I realized that although Twitter was never on my radar, I saw that there were so many sophisticated people on Twitter that actually go through it.
Yeah.
So for us, when we were looking at investors and like, whether it's hedge funds or something like that, or in software, the guys that do really well are not on Instagram. They're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like they really read through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read the threads of some of the creators, they go so deep into it.
Yeah.
But if I were to take that post, put it on Instagram, it's gonna tank.
Yeah.
Like it would have never worked on Instagram. Okay. So the value-based content there was really funny to me, and the switch per platform. And of course, you can repurpose a lot of stuff. But knowing that every platform is a slightly different game, is really cool. But the repurposing there is, we use a lot with AI right now to repurpose stuff and like turn on lead magnets, like flesh them out, add extra things. Whereas on Instagram, it's just cool. Guys, we're looking for 5 people who wants it. Just comment me. And then ManyChat will just take care of everything.
Yeah, that's sick.
But yeah. On that note, I think we were talking about this earlier today about AI. I think you're not a huge fan of AI yet. Like, how come?
No, it's not that. I have a love-hate with AI.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a lack of emotion when you look at AI content?
I think I want it to do more of the heavy lifting than it can still do right now. So I can use it. I use it quite well for very pre-existing structured things that I just need, that are just would be time-consuming tasks.
Gotcha.
And so, and I mean, I have used it for content ideation. You know, I've just had it create a bunch of questions for me. I've recorded a video answering them, and I'm like, cool, take this transcript, turn it into some posts and stuff like that. So it is super helpful, like in that regard. I would say that because I tend to work with a bit more like sophisticated markets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't quite have the same sort of luxury there needs to be a level of expert touch.
Yeah.
And that like AI can't really do, you know, if that makes sense. Like the types of stuff that you can kind of really only produce with experience, and AI like has good knowledge, but it doesn't necessarily have that experience. So if I'm doing more general top of level stuff, it's phenomenal. Like it's great. And I still use it quite well. I just, you know, find it's still a little ways off from doing some of the heavy lifting that I would love for it to do for me, if that makes sense.
Well, I would say, I also think it really depends on the AI. Okay. So we bought that new Hormozy, like it was like 25K. Okay. So we bought that. And then he has the ACQ, like acquisition.com AI.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, it's just AI. How good can it be?
Sure.
And my business partner was, just believe me, test it out.
Okay.
So I'm like, I go in there, cool. I'm going to dump my copy and I'll just see what happens.
Okay.
And I do think they actually trained that AI very well. Put in all the books and everything around that, and all the consultancy calls that Hormozy did.
Yeah.
And when I look at the feedback there, it was actually really solid.
Okay.
And I look at it and I'm like, oh, although I've been in this space for 10 years, there are still small points that I miss. And then I go through them, like, whatever they put in, like, if your input is really good in AI, like you said, like the lack of experience, if you can put your expertise inside the AI, then when you miss stuff, the AI won't.
Yeah.
You can just keep asking questions like, oh, what could it be that I'm missing? Or you ask AI, what are the questions you think I should have asked?
Yeah.
And then it becomes really cool. Like the better your input, the better the output. And I still do a lot of manual work myself as well. So you're not 100% AI.
Yeah.
But I do think if you can sit down for a few weeks and really train the AI very well, your output there will be amazing.
Yeah.
So right now, I do all my research through AI.
Okay.
Like I will watch some videos, I'll go through client stuff myself, but most of it is actually just AI.
That's great.
So I will tell my assistant, like, cool, pull up the last 100 hours from YouTube, put in all the transcripts into AI,
Yes.
and then we're gonna start. And then I can find all these quotes, all these perfect little things. Every client's slightly different, and their messaging and their avatar is different. And for example, I think it was last Tuesday that I was talking to a client. He was like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
But you're basically a magician, because this is exactly what I would say.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't tell him, but in the back of my head, I know.
So he said it.
You
Yeah,
actually like, this is actually you.
Yeah.
Like, you said this like in 2021.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But I don't have the time to go back to 2021.
No, that's well. So if you can get access to source documents, unrivaled like that, and I will fight you on this. Like, I'm creating a last minute product for my client for Black Friday, and it's literally like I just had the team pull the transcripts. I have the transcripts. I upload it to AI. I already have a template that I've used before for something else, and I'm like, hey, cool, help me build this out. And it's just it pulling all the points. I can look at it. I'm like, but yeah, those were over an hour long each, those transcripts.
Yeah.
You know, to go through and manually try and do that. You can do it, but just even the the brain fatigue from consuming and trying to find the things is exhausting.
Yeah, I remember before AI, what I would do, like, I would literally print out maybe 400 or 500 pages of like content or transcript or whatever I could find.
Yeah.
I would go to the co-working space. I would stand there and print it out for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
It's so much.
Yeah.
And I would do the old school way, like with my marker, like just manually going through everything. I have green, I have red, and I have yellow.
Okay.
Go through everything, like what I need.
Yeah.
And it took so long.
That's
like,
exactly right.
research took me like 2 weeks, and I had to tell clients, like, sorry, but it's gonna take me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you really want a good sales page or whatever it is, I need my time to go through research. And right now, I just condense everything. I have to write prompts.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Within 2 days, we'll have everything live.
That's exactly
And
right.
I would have never imagined that would have been possible.
Yeah.
So it really does feel like a huge team that's ready.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas before, I always had junior copywriters. Like, I've trained like 200-300 copywriters, and I would always hire them. But right now, in all honesty, I don't feel the need.
No,
I don't feel the need to hire anyone.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
When I hired my assistant, she had no idea what marketing was or advertising at all. She is still studying, and I just told her, "Cool, these are the steps.
Yeah.
These are the prompts. Give me a draft." Without experience, she gave me a draft like on almost every post, and I'm like, "Yeah, pretty good." And now every single post takes me about 2 minutes to copy chief, and I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that was such a huge leverage that I if you would have told me about AI maybe 5 years ago, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I was one of the first guys that I think it was Jasper AI that was like
I
the
remember.
first like early adopter thing. And I went through that and I was like, this is shit. Like, I'm never gonna touch AI again. It's just not good.
Yeah.
But now we're like maybe 4 years further. I don't think I could run the business without AI.
So this is almost the level of where some of my, I don't know if it's not really contention, but the thing is it's like, I feel like AI has almost already lost its strategic advantage. And that's more of the frustration I feel like I have sometimes, rather than how much I get done with it. It's like, no, I have to do it because the whole market has sophisticated to a level to where, like, if you're not now outputting this at this level, then you're just gonna, like, this is the new normal, if that makes sense. So it's like, there's almost a part of me to where I'm like, AI, I have to use AI to keep up with the timelines that we now operate under with. Yeah. So, like, does it feel, I'm like, I don't know how, like, it is kind of cool, but not really, because it's not like I didn't get those 2 weeks back that I used to spend. Now it's like, cool, we have another thing that we have to put out. We have to put out 3 more things now in those 2 weeks. Whereas before, like, I just did this one thing and I probably could have charged more for it at the time because of the timeline that has been involved. Whereas now, it's cool to be able to get things live for clients a lot faster. I'm happy. I like speed, in implementation. I'm a high quick start, so that's great. But there is a level to be like, I don't know how much I'm winning anymore by getting it done faster.
Yeah,
It's more like I just have to do it in this timeline.
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit on who you're working with.
Okay.
Like there is some stuff where AI just won't cut it.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like there's a lack of emotion when I look at AI copy. Like I cannot properly put in emotion.
Yeah.
Whereas if I write a post, like an emotional story or something, I know that's gonna crush.
Yeah.
The results, impressions, reach, it's gonna be 10 times higher.
Mm-hmm.
But with the extra volume of AI, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when I really need to hit hard, then I will write it messy.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I've never really found an AI that can hit that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But the angles, the new ideas, it's a lot faster than
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if other people do this, but I do make sure that no matter what, no matter how much AI I use, there is still one day in the week where I will force myself to manually write.
Okay.
Because I do think that your creative muscle, because you're not using it, you cannot come up with stuff anymore. And whereas before, like I would walk around the city and I would just look for new ideas. Like what do I see? Who do I talk to? Like what are the things that are happening? And what's new content?
Yeah.
And funny enough, very often that was fried rice.
Yeah. Okay.
I would make posts like that. So that's definitely a thing that I hope will still stick around.
Yeah.
That creative people will still stay creative. Like no matter how much AI evolves, that you will always still have innovation.
Yeah.
Because AI can only do so much with information it has. But if all the information is the same, the output is going to be the same. Like how do you stand out then? Like what AI would be so ridiculous to talk about pizza or fried rice?
Yeah, exactly.
But we humans do. Like we are unpredictable, whereas AI learns from what is predictable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of staying creative and still using your own brain.
Yeah.
So there are pros and cons to everything. But generally speaking, I do think it's a huge benefit for business owners. And I still think we have a few years. But in another 3 to 5 years, my prediction would be is that the playing ground, like it's going to be level.
Yeah.
Like the competition is going to be so much higher.
Yeah.
Even like I used to do SEO back in 2016. And I look at SEO articles and I'm like, shit, like you can pump out dozens every single day.
Yeah.
But what is actually good now?
Yeah.
And that goes maybe back to like IG and Instagram and all the other social media. Where can I go to find authenticity? Who is someone that always stands out?
Yeah.
And then I look at guys like you or the banana guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'll call him banana guy. But
yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
But I look at that, and if everything and everyone is the same because of AI, we're still special.
Yes.
And it's the people that are still innovating, that still have the crazy ideas. And we do a lot of advertising and we want to work with bigger clients and like corporate clients. But what are the crazy ideas?
Yeah.
And if I look at old school advertising, they were always competing on like new ideas and new stuff. But now you go through Instagram and I scroll through it and like same hook everywhere. It's the same stuff everywhere. Like whenever I come up with new stuff, I know because other guys know me, they'll copy it.
They'll
like
wipe it. Wow.
it's like
that quick.
20 accounts within 24 hours will post the exact same thing.
Wow.
Like there's no shame there. They just exchange the username, change some colors, and they're good to go. So that's a really funny way of how social media is working right now. But I guess we'll see what the future is with that.
Well, look, I don't know. I think that will always be a factor, but there is an aspect to where even the ability to hack all these algorithms has just accelerated so quickly right now that I would say even the platforms have not really been able to keep up with how much of the hacking that's going on. I just saw X is doing something to where I saw a post where they're doing something to where people that I don't know if they comment across certain amount of like things within a certain timeline or like whatever, but there's some sort of restraining factor now that they're coming, which is basically an engagement hack that people have been using, and it's very blatant and obvious. Or it's like if your post has more, if the majority, if like 70% of your responses to your post is like 5 words or less, then they will like not give it priority in the feed because it's like very engagement based. It's not well thought out responses.
Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah, it theoretically, I don't know. I can't remember honestly right now, but I saw that. But I'd say that I'm really intrigued because I'd say we're already feeling a little bit of the blowback from AI in a lot of ways, which is why my personal stuff is still, I've used it a handful of times to help me with types of things, but pretty much the majority of my stuff I still like write myself. It's quite time consuming, but we have the study that came out where the companies found that it's like 90% or 95% of the AI things were not profitable.
Really?
Yeah. This is like an actual study that came out a few months ago. And then you have one of the major companies that had fired off a bunch of their people that are rehiring people because essentially AI is still only as good as the operator. And you can't systemize away experience and mastery that comes from reps.
Yeah.
And so that is a major point of differentiation for people in general, is like, at the end of the day, it's like if everyone has the skill, or if everyone can do it, then it doesn't really matter. Then it's baseline. Well, it's just like, no, because everyone can make instant noodles, but not everyone can make like a 3-course meal. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, the microwave empowered a lot of people to be able to make food or make food more easily, but it didn't make good food go away. It became almost more valuable in a sense.
Yeah, I think that maybe goes back to like really standing out because everything is just, one of my guys were talking about like AI slop.
Yes.
Everything like, and I can see any post or any piece of content, I just know like, cool AI.
AI, yeah.
Skip. I don't care. Yeah. So I think we've spoken quite a lot about AI. What I really want to know from you, and I know you're like one of the best at this, is your monetization strategy. Like, what's the framework you use for that?
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I have kind of distilled it down to essentially 4 kind of core components, at least to make it as kind of simple, as straightforward as possible. And it's you have the thing. One of your biggest goals is to try and retain the attention of the people that you're getting on the social media platforms. And one of the easiest ways to do that is like just move them over to like a newsletter so that you have the ability to engage with them more intentionally. There's a whole bunch of different opportunities that come when you have that person that is just a theoretical like consumer follower on a social media, and you have like an into their inbox because the relationship shifts a little bit. People go to social media to be entertained. Typically, people open their inbox more from a like to do business, whatever kind of perspective. So you have an opportunity to engage with them in a different way, and it's a great way to ensure that your stuff actually gets seen. Whereas like on social, there's no way to really guarantee that if you post, if some of the viewers, but you can, at industry standard, open rates are 30 to 40%. So at any given chance, like you could have 30, 40% of your audience, like seeing the thing that you're sending out, which is really good. So that's one of the first things that we do. And then the second is that having some sort of easier way for people to like give you money, which is essentially some sort of like low ticket or low risk kind of way for them to invest. Because people kind of have a buying threshold to where we will naturally spend a certain amount of money without really having to go through any sort of logical process kind of, we don't have to it's impulse buy. That's exactly right. Like an impulse buy. And so a lot of people don't have ways for, their followers to basically impulse buy.
Yeah.
And the thing is what's fascinating, like, although those purchases can add up to something significant, like, you know, I had a launch for a client that did like 68K, you know, in 8 days, low ticket, like super awesome. Yeah, it's really good. But the bigger thing is like all of purchasing and is a trust and type thing. And so those types of things accelerate basically the trust timeline and can decrease the amount of like length of time that it takes for someone to really decide to invest and work with you. And ultimately, I'd say, we could probably argue about this, it's not perfect, but I would say there's like 2 reasons why that people don't really ever buy from you, which is assuming it's relevant. If it's not relevant, then that's whatever. But assuming it's relevant, there's 2 reasons. It's like they don't understand how what you have will help them or positively impact your life. Or the second of all is they don't actually believe that it will do that for them. So one of the easiest ways to like cross that barrier is to just let them to experience it for themselves. Because you can't like, that's the easiest way to convince someone is just like let them do it or experience it or whatever for themselves. Now they are convinced, sold, maybe they're aware of how much bigger the problem is or how much more of this thing that they want. You know, if it is as simple as a Brita filter, you are like, you have that. Now you're like, whoa, I don't ever want to drink water.
Yeah.
That hasn't been through a Brita filter. That's like step number 1. So now you have more than one in your home. Maybe you have like an installation thing on the pipe, you know, there's like so many things, but then you're like, I don't want any of the people that I care about.
That's how it went with me.
That's exactly right.
Like 6 Brita water filters after I bought the first one.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and so how can we make the barrier to entry lower, assuming that we can stay at some level of like profitability, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we can track that. That's where data and stuff comes into play. So low ticket, that's phenomenal for that regard. And then the monthly activation events. So like a workshop, some sort of, I'd say for you, that can even be some sort of intentional education-based content. Because again, coming back to what I just said in point number 2, you know, a big reason why people are buying from you is they just don't understand how your thing can actually help improve their life. And have you ever, well, you would also know this, have experienced this firsthand. If you're talking with someone and it's like their second language and you're speaking to them and they're not understanding, or they're saying something to you and you don't understand, and you're like, I don't understand. How often do they just raise their voice and say the same thing over again? Like it was a volume issue. It's like, no, I'm sorry. I don't speak this language very well. It's not, I heard your words. I don't know what those words mean.
I heard the words, but I didn't understand.
I don't know what the words mean. Like, can you use other words? It wasn't the volume.
They're talking in their own little jargon.
That's exactly right. And so same thing with your followers, with your potential customer base. It's like, you can't assume, well, it's like if you're saying something and it's not, and people aren't responding to it, maybe they didn't hear it in the way that you heard it. Because we are always bringing our own set of experiences and knowledge into everything that we say anyway. We have a whole context, and maybe their context is totally different. So we got to figure out how to like.
Yeah, actually, that's so fun. Like I was talking to my buddy Josh Gavin like the other day.
Yeah.
And he was saying like, don't assume stuff for the customer.
Yes.
You are not the customer.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And so like let the data speak for itself, and then you look at that and you double down on the right messaging.
Yes.
And that's how simple it is.
That's exactly right. So especially if you're selling more of like a service or an information-based thing, you know, these intensive style setups to where people can engage with you, they can actually ask questions with you, they can be taught more. But honestly, I feel like we would see that. That's why infomercials sold so well.
Yeah.
But look at modern D2C, direct to consumer stuff. Many people aren't doing any, even though it's like a proven methodology. So it'd be fascinating to see like what would happen if Reddit was like, hey, check it out. We're going to do this live stream where we show you, and maybe they do, but like we're going to do a live stream and we're going to show you how exactly, like, what's happening with the filter, that would probably explode.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe the awareness level, like you said, like they don't understand the problem, they don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. So if you have enough content, if you have different angles, one of them is gonna hit sooner or later.
That's exactly
you have
right.
perfect
Yes.
messaging for that specific person.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And then, so the fourth thing was just was some sort of automatic indoctrination system that's working all the time. So in this case, and this is what you just installed in your new thing, is like a VSL basically, to where people assuming, because obviously you're not posting 24/7 every single minute of the day. You have your posting cadence. It's like, cool. What happens if they want to learn more about your thing and you haven't posted, your next content isn't set to post for like another 6 hours?
Yeah.
Where are they going? Well, I mean, maybe if you have a YouTube, that's great, but YouTube might just be generic. Maybe they're actually very high intent in that moment and they need a specific messaging that hits kind of the buyer's journey so that they're empowered with the information they need to be able to buy the thing. It's like they're so close, but they're just missing a few key pieces.
Yeah.
Cool. We install some sort of like mini VSL. I like to call them get to the point VSL, to where respectful of their time, but you're like, hey, you're here because you're intrigued. Let me just lay it out for you very simply and plainly and show you how this thing will make your life better or fix the problem that you have.
Yeah. Show, then tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Here it is. Boom. You want to, would you like to like have this thing? Cool. This is how you get it.
Yeah.
And that just runs like on, that is always on. So you don't have to necessarily be on.
Yeah. Yeah. Also on that note, I think when you send them through social media, you don't own that.
Yeah.
I don't own YouTube. Like a subscriber is a subscriber, but I don't own that.
Yeah.
But like with your monetization, like of course you'll still capture the emails and get back to them.
Yeah.
And then you can educate them.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's I just wish that everyone would start choosing that, because it's so simple. Like at the end of the day, it's really not that hard. You have traffic, you have the educational part and the nurture sequence and indoctrination sequence, and then you sell.
That's exactly
right. That's all there is.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a very simplified way.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you think that the market right now is changing? Like from your own experience, that trust might be changing?
It's been hectic. Yeah. I mean, it's been coined before the trust recession. So, and I 100% agree with that. Like to me, businesses have to work harder than ever to earn the sell. Yeah. Because what's fascinating is like people are still buying. They're just buying differently than before. And that's because when you have, when your margin of error shrinks, so your extra spending cash shrinks, your risk factor, your risk tolerance goes way down. Right. Yeah. Before, it's kind of like even impulse purchases, we say that, but like when things are good, we will impulse buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas when things are not that good, we will not impulse buy to the same level, because now all of a sudden that could be rent money, that could be food money, that could be other bills money, and there's no certainty or necessary guarantee that it's going to be replenished in the same way that it has before. I'm now more resistant to just freely, I think like David Ogilvy said this. He's like, your customer isn't a moron, your customer is your wife. And I'm like, people are smart. Like yes, we behave in animalistic ways, but like also I don't know anyone that wakes up and be like, I want to be an idiot today. Like that's not actually what people think. They don't think I want to make poor decision. I mean, maybe, but like that's not the general default, And so there is a level of like conscientiousness that people have. And I would say that it's on the businesses now that like the onus is on us to prove why we're worth the investment, if that makes sense, why the money. But like, for instance, I've not bought a lot of things over the past couple of years that maybe I would have in other seasons. I still get wine pretty regularly because I love wine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, this is it. I love this. It's like a non-negotiable kind of. No wine company is having to fight to prove their worth to me. But a lot of other people have had to, they've had to do a lot more heavy lifting to try and convince me that they're worth my dollars.
I think it depends on what you're selling. Like, for example, if you look at water or gas, like,
Yeah.
when did you see an ad for gas?
Yeah.
Never
That's
seen an ad
exactly
for
right.
gas.
Yeah.
There's no ad for tap water.
Yes.
You just open the tap.
Yeah.
But if you look at other things, like, they are not non-negotiables in life.
That's exactly right.
I probably don't need content. Like, the business is still running whether I have content or not.
Yeah.
But I think that's also part of why I genuinely believe that social media is the future, and you cannot run a business without it.
Yes.
So if you look at like founder-led companies or maybe team-led companies, like I've been seeing that as well, because that's where the trust is built.
Yes.
Like, trust in ads is probably right now at an all-time low. Like, there is no trust in ads. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through all your ads to sell myself,
Yeah.
but I will go through Instagram because it doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah.
The way I consume content is very different.
Yeah.
And the way the audience and people in general consume content is very different now. And I've been seeing this with like all these car dealers.
Okay.
Like, different, like making little skits from like The Office skits or other kind of skits.
Okay.
Funny angles.
Oh, that's great.
And I can buy a car anywhere. I want to buy a car from you because I like this.
Yes. Okay. That's awesome.
So I think that trust like no factor is like, it's changing.
Yes.
Like you said, the market is changing.
Okay.
And if you don't change with it, if you don't accept it, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with you there. So what's your, talk to me about how you found is the best way to leverage that. I obviously spoke a little bit about what I've done with companies, but how are you seeing from like actual getting the attention to then, let's start there. Like how are you getting their attention in a world where it's a premium?
Yeah, I think when it comes to attention, general attention span is very, very short.
Yeah.
And especially if you look at younger audiences, they have no attention span at all.
There's like the three there now as like my friend's daughters, they're showing me shorts or whatever. And I'm like, there's 3 videos happening right here. What's with this random like 3D generated guy jumping around on stuff? And I've seen 3 pictures now sometimes on shorts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, they have so many things like Subway servers, at the bottom, and then there's a guy speaking at the top.
Yeah.
I think those are like tricks.
Yeah.
Like tricks to retain your audience. But also, like, if you look at the market, it's constantly changing. So when I started with Instagram, like in 2020 or 2021, educational content was not as much yet.
Okay.
So sharing educational content in the carousels worked really well. Yeah. And everyone started doing it. So that started changing because everything looks the same.
Yeah.
So they went to talking head videos.
Okay.
To actually see the person.
Yeah.
Then at one point, everyone started doing talking heads videos. Cool.
Yeah.
Now it's not interesting anymore.
Okay.
As of right now, I think storytelling is currently, and probably also for the next 1 or 2 years, the biggest move.
Okay.
Because if you look at history, like, we have always worked well with stories. That's what we remember.
Yeah.
Is there emotion?
Yep.
And maybe a little bit what we spoke about with AI, there's no emotion. Like, the content has no emotion.
Yeah.
But with storytelling and showing who you are and making that unique and showing why it stands out, it's going to be the biggest next move.
Yep.
And then, of course, there's a lot of other stuff. Like, you have the visuals, you have the audio, you have the text. Can we hit every single aspect?
Okay.
And then it starts working. Like, some people, especially young audiences, you can have great visuals. And they're sticking around for the Subway servers at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's something funny to see.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But okay, what's the next thing? Are you saying something that is relatable to the audience? Yes or no? And maybe on screen, are there moving parts? Are you using motion graphics? Are you using something else, After Effects?
Yeah. Okay.
What is it that keeps the attention? Like, getting attention is one thing. Keeping attention is another. So you can get attention with all these tricks and Subway servers.
Yeah.
But you won't keep them. But how you keep followers is through constantly sharing valuable content that's relatable. One of my favorite creators, I think her name is Chloe Shi, and she does these amazing storytelling content. And she talks about all kinds of random things that are not directly about marketing.
Okay.
But I get so pulled into that story that I want to watch.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I'm like, cool, I like her so much, let me consume more content.
Yeah. Okay.
So suddenly I'm in this rabbit hole of like watching 10, 20 minutes videos for a series. I think her series is called 30 Lessons at 30 or something.
Okay.
And it's super interesting to me. But at that point, once you have the personal brand, it doesn't matter what you have.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. because I really like and trust you.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
And it's probably the same with Hormozy. If I look at Hormozy, I know that the guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
If he were to sell some fitness program or supplement, I'm fucking buying that shit,
Yeah.
like instantly.
Yeah.
So I think you can sell your thing. You can also sell yourself. You can sell the brand itself. What does the brand stand for?
Yeah.
And is this a brand that is so trustworthy that no matter what they sell, we'll buy it? And I think that's going to be very, very important. And you'll probably see this switch in the next few years, that the brands without it, they have no trust. And if you look at the cost of ads, it's increasing.
Yeah.
Whereas before in 2016, when I would run ads, doesn't matter. I'll just dump an ad on Facebook.
Yeah, it was
And it's trustable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those were the days.
Those
It was before
were
that
so good.
as well.
Yeah.
But now, I think if you're break even, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you're break even on
front end, break even. Yeah, that's phenomenal.
like that's good.
Yeah.
But what happens after?
Yeah.
They Google you, they look for your stuff, and then they end up on Instagram or YouTube or another social media platform. And from there, they actually start consuming.
Yeah.
And then your ad cost starts dropping again. And I was talking to Jeff Miller last week.
Okay.
And I think he was also saying like, yeah, whenever I post, everything else drops like 20%.
That's amazing.
And if you look at 20%, like
That's
if
substantial.
you're making millions, that's so much money.
Well, you think about that for a minute timeline. That means every 10 days you've bought 2 extra days. You've paid for 2 extra days of like
really
free advertising, basically, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Yeah.
But also to get back to what you were saying about like the time frame, the sales cycle itself will always be shorter because there are more touch points.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I might trust you after like 60 emails.
Sure.
And I'm buying that.
Yeah.
But it's 1 email a day. But if I go through your profile, I'm there for 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
I
right.
see
Yeah.
that you're funny.
Yeah.
I like you. You're clearly an expert. You're getting results. Your social proof. Everything is there.
Yeah.
So your social media is the new business card.
Yeah.
And I really, really believe that social media is the best first impression you can make on someone.
Okay.
Like, and I was talking about this with a buddy about like dating and stuff.
Yeah.
The first thing a girl's gonna do, she's gonna ask you for your Instagram. I've checked out if you are cool, yes or no.
Yeah.
And it's the same with businesses. Like, are you cool?
Yeah.
Do I trust you? Do I believe you? And do you have a good business card? Do you have a good portfolio? And that portfolio is social media now. There is not going to be anything else. And I truly, truly believe that. Ads will only work so well. Competition is higher than ever. Costs are higher than ever. So what else can we do?
Yeah.
And right now, and probably in the next few years as well, it's going to be social media.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just crazy to me that so many brands and businesses don't capitalize on it. Because I don't think you can, maybe you can still run a profitable company, but it will never be as good as when you have content.
Yeah.
It's when you have your portfolio set up. Because the trust in ads is so low, but the trust in people, we lack that.
Yeah.
And it's probably maybe also has to do with AI. And there's so much stuff, but the connection between people is it's getting lost.
Yeah.
Like even like you can meet everyone, you can like Google everything right now. Like we're so connected.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are so disconnected with other humans.
Yeah.
But through social media, like whether we meet in real life, yes or no, I will still feel the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we do so well online and social presence is every single time I see your name, every single time I see your face, I feel unconsciously as if we got one step closer to a very close friendship.
Yeah.
And once that's established, I will trust you blindly. And when I look at some of my best clients, I can charge 5 to 10K, 25K in DMs.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They have known me for years.
Yeah, because the rapport, they're so strong.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had one client, like maybe 4 months ago. He just texted me, dude, I know you're busy, but please respond because I want to give you money.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and we jumped in a call and he was like, cool.
Love it.
How much is it? It's 10K. Okay, cool, done. And like instantly on that call, okay, cool. What are the next steps? Can we do the onboarding right now? Okay, yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And we just jump on an onboarding call and we go from there.
Yeah.
But without that online presence,
Yeah, exactly.
that would have never happened. And it's the same when I started working with Alex Becker. When he posted, I'm looking for someone for Instagram.
Yeah.
If you go to the comments, there were probably like hundreds of comments. 40 or 50 of those were all tags that's with my name.
Yeah.
And that's the power. Like, you cannot run it anymore if you're not known. And I think I was watching this Hormozy video where he also said, like, the reason why people aren't buying is because they don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't exist. So with organic, everyone will know you, and it's going to grow and exponential. It's going to grow exponentially. Like, you might be an unknown person right now, but if you keep doing this for the next 3 to 5 years, trust me, every single person in your niche, in your audience, will know who you are.
Yeah.
And once you've established that, you'll be okay for the rest of your life. Like, your brand, your name means something in the space. And with that, you have your, I think it's called like 1,000 loyal fans.
Yes.
With 1,000 loyal fans, you will always be okay.
Yeah.
Your reputation alone is enough to sustain your life for the rest of your life. Whatever it is that you have to sell, people trust you, they know you, and they will buy. I think I went up a little bit off topic.
No, that's great.
Monetization. But to get into the specifics, I think there are a lot of strategies with monetization, whether that's with a video, with a video sales letter, or if it's directly to book a call.
Yeah.
I think everything works. The question is just what works for you. Does it match how you want to run the business?
Yeah, that's true.
If it's a lifestyle business, cool, jump on a few calls and you're done.
Yeah.
If you want to scale the business, you cannot jump on so many calls.
Yeah.
So maybe then what you do is a low ticket funnel. You run the low ticket funnel, you build trust through the low ticket courses or programs, whatever it is. And then you have closers, you have other people doing the calls. You could also and I know right now I've seen maybe a couple thousand people, and I don't think it's as popular yet. So for whoever is watching, if you jump on it right now, I think it will be huge.
Yeah.
Sell in your DMs. Like, with good enough content, you can sell in DMs. You don't have commissions for closers. You don't need DM setups because ManyChat is fucking crazy. ManyChat is so good with automations.
Yeah.
All the messages will be taken care of. You slap on a type form, people want it.
Yeah.
They watch your YouTube and everything. In the DMs, automation goes, cool, here's the link.
Yeah.
Pay. When I joined Dan Bolton's course, I think it was like 5 or 6K.
Yeah. Wow.
Never jumped on a call with him.
Yeah. It's
I like your content. I trust you.
Yeah.
Dan, here's my money.
Yes.
Like, here are my credit card details. Yeah, cool. We're done. And I think that's gonna be huge. Like, as long as you can run that, you'll always be fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you sell because you will find your perfect tribe. You will find your audience, and just figure out what that is and who you are and who you want to target. Match that, set the automations, and keep showing up. I think at the end of the day, no matter how good or how bad you are, and I think I'm terrible in front of the camera. I hate being on camera. But whenever I do, I always get clients. And over time, like the first sales calls I did, and I think we were talking about this earlier, I was drunk on my first 30 sales calls. Like, I was too scared to talk to people.
Oh, I'm drunk right now.
But yeah, right now, I've probably done hundreds of sales calls, and I'm just there, cool, what do you need? What do you need? Okay, cool, this is what I would do. Do you want to do it yourself? Or do you want to do it with us? My sales calls are 30 minutes max, and you pay or you don't pay, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's it. But that goes back to like putting in the reps. As long as you put in enough reps, whether it's content creation or something else, any skill, put in the reps, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And as long as you do that, you'll always be able to monetize. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
No, that's so good. I love the one thing to kind of finalize that is this idea of mastery. You know, I'd say that in a society that is obsessed with speed, you know, we often like to think about mastery being able to means you'll be able to do things faster, but mastery actually refers more to the certainty of the outcome, not necessarily the speed that it takes to get there. So it's like if you're a master swordsmith, you know, or whatever, like it just takes X amount of time regardless. Like, sure, you'll be able to do it faster than a newbie, but like a trade, like an apprentice, but it still requires time. Whenever I make ribs for my mates, like it always takes, they have to be in the oven for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good I am at it. Like I can't make it not 7 hours because they has to slow cook. It has to. And so mastery, coming down to the certainty of the outcome. When you do something, there's a high level of confidence and certainty that it's going to come out the way that you want it to do. And you only get that through the reps.
It's hard not to get good if you do it every single day.
Yeah.
Like the overnight success happens after 10 years.
Yeah, that's
That's very true. Sometimes people come to me and like, how did you get to like your first 10K a month in like 3 months?
Yeah.
Well, because I spent like the 6 years before that working for an agency, like 80 hours a week.
Yeah, okay.
That has a reason. That's true. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I want to be a little bit mindful of your time. I think we've got to go.
Cool.
One last question for you. If there's one piece of advice you would give to creators to like monetize their audience, what would it be?
I would say sell something. I think that most people that I interact with haven't even put together a way for people to even purchase from them. And I say that as much as it's good to build an audience, there is an aspect to where like you train your audience based off of the content that you put out. And so, you know, we saw this work well for Hormozy, like, you know, keep posting until people beg to buy from him because he already had a business. He already knew, like we already knew him in that frame. But there's no assumption that if someone's following you for your content, if you all of a sudden just start selling something, there's gonna be a little bit of like resistance or pushback. Because up until now, like you have only ever been a source of free dopamine. And now that's like, what do you mean? You want something from me? It's like, no, but I also have this thing if you want it. And so I think I think creators would be served if they have a vision of that to go ahead and put together even a version 1 of something so that it exists, so that it can be out there and it can be, like we talked about data, it can be actually improved upon.
Yeah. Action is always better than perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection will never be done.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for
I
having
hope we'll do this soon.
Yeah. All right.
It's time for you to move the dog, right?
Maybe. I'll think about it.
All right.
Just.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah,